What's going on, everybody? We're live with University of Arizona QB coach and office and analyst BJ Denker. BJ, hello, welcome to the show. Can you give the
Thanks
folks a
for having me.
background about yourself?
Okay. Yeah, born and raised in Los Angeles, California. Went to school at University of Arizona, played quarterback there. And then our connection is after I was done playing, I went and played in Switzerland for Basel, and we were teammates and won ourselves a Swiss championship out there. What, about 4 years ago?
Yep, 4 years ago,
Yeah,
5 years ago,
5 years
actually.
ago. Yeah, yep,
Yeah,
yeah. It was good
cool.
times. Yep.
Yeah. So BJ, you're now the coach at Arizona. How
Right.
does it feel to be coaching at your alma mater and helping the position that you played at?
Right. Yeah, it's I think it means a little bit more. It's a little more special when you get to coach at a place where you played. You always have a little bit more emotionally invested and love for the school, and so it's good to be back. This place, Tucson, Arizona, is where University of Arizona is at. It's like second home, and it's good to be back with in the same colors, wearing the block A, and being in the home stadium that you played in. So it's fun.
Nice. So this year, you guys had a tremendous season. You had a crazy quarterback,
Yeah.
Khalil Tate. Can you talk a little bit about Khalil and what he brings to you guys' team?
Yeah, man, he's dynamic athlete. He's arguably the best athlete or best player on the field every time he's out there, and he's explosive, and he makes plays that even as a coach you can't teach, and it's tough to stop him. He's a great thrower, and he can run faster than a lot of these DBs, and he's really a dangerous weapon out there, and he's explosive and he's fun to watch, and I think our fans and our players like watching him and playing with him.
Nice. So let's talk about the quarterback position specifically. That's a position you play. What do you guys at Arizona look for when you're looking at a quarterback that you're looking to offer a scholarship or play at your school?
Right. Yeah. I think the first thing is accuracy. I think that's the most important quality or trait that a quarterback can have. Can he deliver the football accurately to where he wants to go, to his wide receivers or to his running backs? That's number one. Obviously, at the University of Arizona, we like a little bit more athletic guys. We run a type of offense where the quarterback can keep the football and run it himself. So we like some guys with some speed and some athletic ability. And then I think we just like competitors. A guy that doesn't like, but loves playing football. Kind of like a gym rat, wants to get better, wants to learn every single day. And then as a leader, you know what I mean, can command the field and control his huddle and be somebody that his teammates look forward to.
Excellent. So BJ, let's talk a little bit about quarterback play. Um, as far as quarterback play, what do you guys harp on there at Arizona when you guys are going through a game week? What do you guys harping on your quarterbacks through the everyday practices?
Yeah, decision making is huge. We try to focus on making the right decisions in our offense. Our quarterback's got to make a decision every single play, and that's even in the run game. He doesn't just turn around and hand the football off and not have to do anything. He's reading a defensive end, or he's reading a linebacker, or he's reading coverage. So decision making in our offense at our school is really important. So it's about making the right decisions and not turning over the football. If you can take care of the football and turn it over less than the other team, then you've got a really good chance at winning a game. So I think that's our big thing is making the smart play and getting the ball out to our playmakers and letting them, make some plays in space.
Nice. So you guys run that high tempo spread offense. How does
Right.
that give defensive trouble?
Well, number one's conditioning. If you're not a conditioned team or a conditioned individual, especially those big fat guys up front on the D line and stuff like that, if they're not in good shape, by the time it's the third and fourth quarter, they can't give 100% and they're wearing down, and that's kind of where we spring our big runs and we kind of take control of the defense. So number one, that's conditioning. If we're gonna be better conditioning you, then we're gonna wear you out and we're gonna win the game. Plus, we like to score a lot of points. Put up big yards, and that's kind of what attracts players to come play for us. We tell them, if you come here, you're going to throw for a lot of yards, you're going to catch for a lot of yards, you're going to score a lot of touchdowns, and it makes players want to play for you, and it makes fans want to come and watch. And it's, this game is about winning, but you also want to entertain too and have fun at the same time. And when you're scoring a lot of points and winning a lot of games, it's fun for everybody.
Mm. So you yourself, you've played here in Europe. You played on an international level. What do you think is the biggest difference from international football and American football? And how can young athletes here in Europe better themselves to be prepared to accept a college scholarship or get ready to play at any level of college football?
Right. Obviously in America, I started playing when I was 5. So that's probably the biggest, just socially, they grow up playing something different, like soccer and things like that. We grow up and want to play football from a young age. So we already have a 10-year head start as high school kids or even college. So I would say one thing is if we can change the culture over there and get kids from a younger age to want to play football, then they're going to play at a younger age, and that's just going to it's something you do is you practice your craft for years and years and years. Then I think that's how you become more elite and more talented. So I think if you can start these kids off in Europe at a younger age playing football, that'll help them. Obviously, and another thing is, I don't know about the weight room. I don't know if it's normal in Europe for these other sports of being in the weight room, living in the weight room, lifting 4 or 5 times a day. Over here in the States, you got to do that to survive. And so I think if you start at a younger age and you're playing for longer, and then you get in the weight room at 15, 16 years old, I think those will help develop you as your body to be able to withstand playing football, because this game is contact sport, and then also, being more explosive and dynamic and having somebody want to come recruit you.
Excellent, man. That's completely right, man. These guys got to get prepared in the weight room. I think that is, I would say that's the biggest difference, is the weight room and then just the practice times. Because I remember when we were in Basel, we were practicing maybe 2 times a week, sometimes 3, so they really miss out on those everyday practices, getting fundamentally better every day.
Yeah, exactly.
So, talking about fundamentals, what are some things that quarterbacks can work on every day just to tweak their game and to get better and better? Would you say it's more of the feet work? Would you say it's more of the throwing mechanics?
Right.
I know it's a lot as being a quarterback, but what would you say would be the single most thing that a guy can focus on right away to be a better quarterback?
It all starts with with your feet. Throwing it starts from the waist down. Everyone thinks you have to have this strong arm, and yes, it helps, but if your feet are all over the place, if your base is lacking, or if it's narrow, if it's too wide, if you're off balance, then you're not going to be accurate, and you're not going to deliver a good ball or a good strong ball. So I would say if the most important thing is below the waist, so having good footwork, having a good strong base, making sure you can shift your power and your weight from your back hip to your front foot, things like that. That's going to make you more accurate. And also just throwing the football. Practice. Just go out there and throw to receivers as much as you can. Obviously, you don't need to do it every single day. We don't want you to wear out your arm, but just being a thrower, just getting comfortable and completing footballs and completing passes is the best thing for you. Practice. Just throw as much as you can, and do it full speed. We're not lobbing the football. We're not going through the motions. We're developing, habits, good habits.
Okay. Appreciate that, man. Yeah. So, guys, remember what Coach just said, man. Practice great habits and keep working. Do those little things every single day. And BJ, another thing, the last thing about quarterback play, there's this perception that everyone has to be this 6'5", 6'6" quarterback now. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on these big quarterbacks versus these smaller quarterbacks like your Russell Wilson versus your Cam Newton,
right?
your Ben Roethlisberger?
Look, I mean, at the end of the day, can you complete a football? Can you complete a pass? Obviously, the prototype NFL, you want a bigger, stronger guy that can throw a dart, throw a laser beam, but not everyone's like that. So the number one thing is, can you complete a football accurately? If you're skipping the ball on the ground, or you're throwing it to the other team, you're turning the ball over, doesn't matter how big you are or how strong you are. So that's number one. And then do you make good decisions, right? Do you make your team better? Do you not put your team in positions where, you're in 3rd and long, or you're turning the ball over, you're fumbling football? So I would say it's are you accurate, and how's your mental capacity? Are you mentally strong? Are you smart? Are you a football player? Study as much coverage, as much defense, and just as much as ball as possible, and then the rest will take care of itself.
Awesome. BJ, man, I appreciate that. Any last words you got for these young players internationally, these young quarterbacks especially?
If it's a dream of yours and you really love the game of football and you want to, play as long as you can, then don't let anybody stop you from chasing your dreams, man. Just work hard. You got to be the hardest worker. You got to be the first one in and the last one out. But also just make sure you have some fun. That's why we play it in the beginning, in the first place, is have fun, work hard, and then the wins and the yards and the accolades and everything else will come after that.
Awesome. BJ, appreciate it, man. Good luck this season. Bear down, but always go
Bear
Buffs.
Hey,
All right, bro. See you.
all right, man.